Welcome, everybody. Good to see everybody. What a great day for LSU football. It's been a tremendous process of going out and be able to recruit the best offensive coordinators in the country, and we got him, Matt Canada. We're excited to have him. He's a great man. He's put up tremendous numbers at several different spots that he's been at. Everyone I called, people that work for him, he's a great team guy, win first. The players love him. He's great on game day, great caller, multiple shifts, multiple formations, makes it tough on defensive coordinators that are called across the league that played against him. One of the toughest guys to go against. Very creative mind, can make adjustments during the game, and it's very hard to go against. You know, one of the things I really liked in our interview is that I felt that he fit in with our staff. One team, one heartbeat. And he's about team, he's about winning. He didn't talk to him about the lofty numbers that he put up, the things that he did, the great things that he did as a coordinator. But I know this, he's had success in several different systems. He's done a great job of coaching quarterbacks, whether it be in the spread offense, whether it be in a pro-style offense, whether the quarterback's running the ball or throwing the ball, the guy knows what he's doing. We're very fortunate to have, in my opinion, and an opinion across the country, two of the top coordinators at LSU in Matt Canada and Dave Aranda. We're looking forward to him coming to the LSU Tigers after the bowl game. He's going to be able to start calling recruits today, and he will go back and coach his team in the bowl. It's very honorable. He wanted to go back and talk to his coach last night, do it like a man, and he came back. We are excited to have our offensive coordinator. Give him a hand, Matt Canada.
Well, when you talk about big days in your life, to stand up here at a place that, you know, is nothing but excellence everywhere you go. You look at the stadium, you look at our facilities. First off, to Coach O, I'm humbled beyond belief that he called me. Had a chance to visit with him yesterday and was, you know, blown away that I was extended an offer. So Mr. Oliva for making it happen and everything he did. And just for the LSU community, I'm humbled and excited to be here. I'm just a ball coach. I don't have any fancy name or anything else. I love coaching ball. I love coaching kids. And when you come to a place with the great players that are here, and the history of this program, what Coach brings in, Dave, you know, we crossed paths. He actually bought my house back up in Wisconsin when I left and he was coming. So that's the history we have. And so that's how it works out now. We're coaching at the same place, but obviously the best defensive coordinator in the nation. And so to come to a place with all the pieces, you know, already lined up and just to get to be part of that puzzle, I'm blown away and so humbled. My fiance Erin is here. I'm fortunate that she's here, and she certainly is an amazing part of my life. My children, Tori and Chris, they're probably somewhere watching this, and we've moved a lot and done a lot, and I love them to death, and I'm very fortunate to have them. But we're going to do a great job of winning games, period. If we win 10-7, we talked to Coach, and that was what was important. We want to win. If we need to score more than that, we'll find a way to score more than that. But we're going to use our personnel. I think the best thing that we have done is find a way to maximize our strengths and minimize our weaknesses, maximize the strengths of the players we have at the moment. Our system is versatile enough, and Coach mentioned it. Again, I don't think it's anything magnificent or super creative, but we're going to use our players' talents to find a way to win. And stats are overrated. Stats are funny to talk about when you need to have something good to say. You matter about winning games. And for me, my job is to score enough points to win games. And that's what I'm going to do in leading our offense and leading our team. And I'm excited to go back to Pittsburgh. I want to thank Coach Narduzzi for allowing me the opportunity to work there, and Scott Barnes, the athletic director there. It was a great place, and our players did a great job. I'm thankful that Coach O is going to let me go back and finish it the right way and coach our bowl game and allow our players and coaches here to finish their season. And when it's all said and done, I'll be back and I'll be ready to go to work. So I'm very excited to be here and would love to answer any questions you might want to ask me.
Raise your hand if you have a question, Coach. Coach, back left, Matt Moscona, ESPN Radio here in Baton Rouge. Have you gotten a chance, I know it's early, but to look at any of LSU's personnel, particularly the quarterbacks? Do you have any thoughts?
You know, I have. I mean, obviously, it's been a quick process here. I was in with Coach O yesterday. I'm aware of some of those guys, and certainly through recruiting, you know, as we all recruit at different places we are, to start talking specifics, I think that'd be unfair. I'm very excited to, again, allow them to finish their season with where we are. We're going to get another win, and then we'll get in and really start dissecting what we're going to do and put in our program. But there's great players here. And I do believe that we will find a way to always maximize our talents at quarterback. We've had running quarterbacks. Our quarterback this year, I just coached Nate Peterman, came from another place, and I think he had 28 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. The guy before that I coached, Jacoby Brissett, I think his 2-year career ended 44 touchdowns and 11 picks, and he came from a place too. So I think we find what our guys do well, and I have great faith we're going to do that with the guys we have here. We have great pieces already in place.
Hey, Coach, Jacques Doucet, WAFB TV here in Baton Rouge. What impact and what role do you see yourself in recruiting and right away?
Well, I hope I have a major impact, and I'm excited to get on the phone with the young men that are committed to us, to get on the phone with the young men that are considering, coming to play at this great place, and tell them what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And I'm just a part of it. I certainly am not any major deal, but I'm going to express to them what we're going to do, the honest and straightforward approach we're going to have, and that what we want to do is score points. So I believe that that's the best way to do it in recruiting, to tell them the way it is so there's no confusion. I think that's Coach O and I hit it off pretty well yesterday because we both were pretty direct with what was important to us, from family to football to everything in between. And that was a great feel for me, and I think that'll continue on in our recruiting. I can see that with what we do, and that's what I do.
And just a quick follow-up, are you looking to find the best quarterback, or are you looking for a quarterback to fit a system?
The best quarterback. We've got plays we can all draw plays. Everybody in here and everybody in America can call plays, right? Everybody can call the right play after the play's over. So plays are overrated. The players you get win the games. Players win games, not plays. So we're going to find the best player that we can, who's a winner, who's a student of the game, who's accurate. And if he, again, everybody asks that question. I'd like him to be 6'6" and run a 4.1 and throw the ball 100 yards and be the smartest person you've ever met. Well, that doesn't happen. We're all blessed with different talents. Some of us are bigger. Some of us are faster. Some of us throw it better. We're going to find the best players we can get who fit Coach O's philosophy, the excellence that we have in this program, and we will find a way to score points with those players. As long as they're a winner, we'll find a way to win.
Ross Dellinger with The Advocate. Matt, a year ago, you were out of a job. Tell us about, did you ever imagine yourself in this position now, just a year after that happened, and then what happened there?
No, I didn't. I mean, this has been professionally and personally the best and the hardest year of my life. I would say both ways. However you want to look at it. What happened there is irrelevant. I've answered the question. I was surprised. I didn't see it coming. We were third in the league in scoring. But people make changes, and I'm very, very fortunate the change was made because I'm standing here talking to you right now. So, to say I saw it there. I do believe there's a plan. I do believe that as life goes on, things work out the way they're supposed to, and you just have to keep believing that and doing the right thing. So I'm very, very humbled to be here, and I believe that's the way it was supposed to work out. At the time, we all struggle sometimes to believe that when those events occur, but obviously there was a reason.
Coach, back here in the back,
Yes,
Matt
sir.
Roberts, WVLA TV. Just curious, you've had a couple different stops, just 1 year at Pitt. You were setting records up there. What is it about your system that allows you to have success so quickly when you go to a new place?
I think we're proud of that. If you talk, I appreciate the question. We're proud of that. I went to Northern Illinois, and we won a championship in the first year, and I had a chance to go on. And I've only chose to take two jobs. When you talk about the moves, things happen when you're not in charge. Certain things occur. So we went on to Wisconsin. We won the Big Ten, and we had a great year this year at Pitt in our first year. Again, I do believe what I'm saying. It's not clinic talk. It's not here for the press conference. It's about players. It's about players, not about plays. Our system is very easy. It's very easy to learn. We find a way to teach it in a way that our kids understand it and they believe it, and we want them to learn it as fast as they possibly can. I don't get any points for us to stand up saying 2 years from now you're really going to understand this offense. That doesn't matter. We want to win. We're going to win right now. That's why we're here. We got to win football games, and my job is to do whatever coach tells me to do and score enough points to win games. So our system is easy for our players to learn. We believe that. We've done that, and we're proud of that. Yes, sir.
I'm Scott Ravelay with the Baton Rouge Advocate. That said, there is kind of a mandate for the person in your job to kind of change the offensive culture of this program. Is that something that's been communicated to you, and is that part of the appeal for you to take this job?
The appeal for me is this is LSU. That's the appeal. This is the greatest program in the country. I mean, I got a call from Coach O to come to LSU. That's the appeal. We just got to win games. I think it's a team game. Coach talks about one heartbeat. That's what it is. So I don't think there's any mandate. We're gonna do what we can to win games. We're proud of what we've done. We've scored points on some really good people, and we're gonna do what we have to do that. But I don't think there's any. I'm not looking to come in and change this or change that to make it right. We have a system that we believe in. That's what we're going to do. I believe our players will be excited about our system. I believe our players will see the production that it has had, and we're certainly going to show them as we install plays. We're going to use, the plays, and they're probably going to see some players that, our running backs. You talk about the running backs that have had production in our system. You got James Conner right now, which is a phenomenal story. You go back a little bit there, Monty Ball, pretty good player. Melvin Gordon's still playing right now. James White's still playing. Those three kids all were in the same system at the same time, so we had three backs on the field a lot. Again, I think that's what we'll do. So I think our players will see that and understand that. But hopefully, hopefully what you say when it's done is they maximize their talent, whatever their players could do, and they scored points. Sir.
Hey, Coach. Chris Price from WBRZ TV here in Baton Rouge. Coach Ogeron, in his search for a new offensive coordinator, stressed spread concepts and principles as being very important to the future of LSU's offense. Mm-hmm. How would you describe your offense? Would you call it a spread offense? And who have been your most significant influences in your offensive system? What coaches have been?
I think we've had I went out when I was at Indiana. I went out and met with Coach Kelly at Oregon. So I think that's obviously with very much of a spread style. And when we were there, that's what we did. So I think our offense hasn't changed the way the philosophy hasn't changed. What's changed, if you look at the places I've been, has been the players. So when we were there, we threw the ball a lot in that league. We weren't the biggest or the strongest. When I went to Northern Illinois, we had two running quarterbacks. Jordan Lynch ended up being second in the Heisman the next year at Northern Illinois. So that was a running power read. That was what we did there. So that was certainly a spread offense. So I think we have to utilize our talents. We do have a spread component. We can be spread. We watched a game yesterday. It doesn't matter which one. I would say if you looked at it, it looked like a spread team for sure. We were doing a lot of things. We were trying to find ways to score points. So I don't like to pigeonhole us that we're this or we're that. I think when you watch teams in the league right now, the Patriots. What are the Patriots? Are they a pro-style team? Are they a spread team? Obviously, our team here. What are the Saints? They're a pro team. What are they? So we're going to do what we do to get our players on the field. If we have a multitude of tight ends, you'll probably see more of those guys on the field. If we have great receivers, you're going to see them on the field more. So every defense, and a coach can stop them all, but every defense can decide what they're going to stop. They can stop a play. We have the next play, and they may stop that one too, but we do, I believe, have the plays off the plays and the answers in our system that we can at least have a chance to move the football.
Right here on your left, Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV. Would you say that's your best strength, your adaptive nature? You talk about it being about the players and not necessarily the scheme as much. So what were you selling in your meetings with everyone about yourself?
I don't really that's a humbling question. I don't know that anything's a great strength, but I do think if you look at what we've done, we've used different, as you would look at it, I guess, from the outside. Hey, they're a power team here, they're a quarterback run team here, but it's been the same offense. So I guess I think if you say, well, what am I? I'm proud that we do that. I'm proud that we find a way to maximize our talents and have, a fullback, a walk-on fullback this year. I have 9 or 10 touchdowns that probably nobody thought was going to, but he's a tough guy that blocks and plays so hard, so we're going to use him, and that allows a personnel grouping to give us an advantage. All we're trying to do when we play is find the matchup for us to take advantage of the defense, because defenses are great, and it's hard to score points. We all know that. So I'm proud of that. I don't know if that's a great strength, but I'm proud that we do that.
Coach, back here in the back again, Matt Roberts. Just curious, with what LSU's been able to do on defense, How much do you look to play a complementary style that kind of helps out the defense, or is that maybe something that's overrated?
It's not overrated at all. Again, I think what we're going to do is win football games. And that was a great conversation Coach O and I had. Stats, where you rank. I know that's something, and I'm not, it's something we all do in fantasy world, fantasy football, total offense. Well, really, if your total offense is something, what does that mean? That might mean you were getting the ball in bad field position. That might mean your special teams weren't getting you the ball in the right spot or what have you. So it really, the biggest stat that I look at for us is scoring points. That's what I've always said. But in a game, it's scoring more points than they score. We're not going to keep being silly to try to get this score up so we have this kind of a scoring average. When we're going to go, Coach O will certainly dictate what the plan is for each game. And like we said, we've got a great defense and great talent. We just want to win. There's nothing like Saturday night when you win a football game. You feel really, really good as a coach, as a player, as a fan. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to win. So some games it changes. Some games it doesn't bounce your way. A couple things happen. You get a guy nicked up, and you have to do what you have to do. But we're going to win games. So without question, we are going to complement our entire team. However the game goes, each and every game is different.
Middle left, Coach Matt Moscona again. Coach O had mentioned that he consulted with some of the coaches in the league about you. Aside from Coach Bielema, who are you familiar with, and who's familiar with you in the league?
Oh, in the SEC, and obviously Coach B, I worked for him obviously at Wisconsin. I don't know a lot of guys, in the league we're coming into personally. This is obviously the top league. This is football. This is the whole deal. So all those guys are people we look at and study and go after and try to make ourselves as much like them as we can. So I'm excited to study our opponents. I'm excited. Everybody has a feel. Everybody has what they do on game day, but then everybody changes week to week. So I don't have any specifics on any coach that way. And as far as working with anybody, there's certainly guys I know and we've crossed paths with, but there's no specific there.
Along those lines, Coach, Chris Price, this will be your first time coaching full-time against SEC competition. I wonder what your experience has been coaching against any SEC teams, and what do you think of that level of competition that SEC defenses will present?
Well, I'm 1-0 at Alabama. Northern Illinois, we beat Alabama in 2003. So I guess I'll go with that. Huh?
Coach O must love that.
Well, it's a true statement. So, I've been in a lot of different places. You play crossover games. Again, this is the top. This is the top. So I'm excited about it. I think, I'm proud of where I've been. You look at Coach Venables is a tremendous coach at Clemson. Coach Foster's a tremendous coach at Virginia Tech. Coach Pruitt obviously is out of Alabama now. I played him when he was at Florida State, and he certainly got after us. So there's a lot of guys out there that I've competed against at different places. It's still our game. It's still about blocking, tackling, finding some way to score one more point than they score. But by all means, I certainly understand, the level of play that I'm getting into. There's no doubt about that. It's the top.
Coach, you're obviously still learning the players and everything, but what does it mean to start with a guy like Darius Geis coming back to be in your backfield next year?
Well, that's a really good perk when you get to take a job and have a guy like that. And I think he's going to be excited. Again, we're going to get moving, but we're going to allow everybody to finish the season. But I think when he looks at what we do, and again, those backs I mentioned, those are real tangible people that he's seen and knows about. I think he's going to be excited with what we do and excited with the way we're going to progress our offense. But I'm very excited about him and all our players. Again, the talent in this program is awesome.
Hey, Matt, over here, Gary Laney from Saturday Down South. You've had so many offenses with different focal points that you alluded to, from 3,000-yard passers who ran for 1,000, the running backs at Wisconsin, and what you had this year. Was there ever a year where it didn't really quite fit into your system and you really had to expand it? Or everywhere you go, it all just kind of fits into your system in a different way?
I would say if you look at 13, our first year at NC State, we didn't have a very productive year. We struggled. We played a lot of different quarterbacks, and I'll always take all the blame. So we obviously didn't do a very good job that year. But I think when you look at us, I think we are proud of that. And I've coached with a lot of great coaches, on our staff, and from running it to, like you mentioned, if you watched us, you wouldn't think we ever had a quarterback who would have that many yards rushing. And if you watch us in, you'd never think we had a quarterback who was going to lead in pass efficiency. So we're going to maximize our talents. I think that's our job as coaches. It's not to have a system. It's to score points in the red zone. I think we're pretty good at that. We're pretty proud of that. I mean, how do you score points in the red zone? You got to do it. You got to be pretty good on third down. We believe you got to run the football. Running the football is a big deal. So we're going to run the football. But how we're going to run it dictates on our players and what the defense does too. Defense has a lot to do about it. But we're going to be, Coach mentioned it, we are going to shift a little bit. And we are going to move, and we're going to change the tempo. We're going to do everything we can do to give ourselves an advantage to be offensive. We're on offense. It's called offense for a reason.
Coach, here in the middle, couple of things. How much no huddle and huddle? And Coach Orgeron is known for giving his coordinators a lot of autonomy to do the job the way they want to do it. Did that freedom appeal to you as part of the reason why you would take this job?
Yes, sir, it did. I mean, I think this is an amazing place, but I do think, again, I'll mention it again because it was a special place, you know, with Coach Narduzzi. He allowed us the freedom to do our job. And Coach O certainly has said that. He's the head coach. Whatever he tells me to do, I'm going to do. I am a chain of command coach, person. I believe in it to the end. But I do believe if you have too many things going on, it's very hard to have success at anything in life. We're talking about football right now, which is really a big deal. But I think that's hard, you know. Too many cooks in the kitchen. It's hard. So that conversation was a very, very big deal for me to feel confident in making the decision, and obviously wanting the opportunity to be given to me first. But once that occurred, to have the chance to come here, to know that his philosophy of running the football, which we're going to do, of having a standard of excellence, of all those things that he has instilled in our players, I'm going to follow that. But we're going to do it in our way, which allows us to win football games. So that was a big deal. Huddle and no huddle. We're a huddle team. We believe in huddling, but there's probably a game we didn't huddle hardly at all. Again, I believe it comes back to the game, comes back to the situation. We will change the tempo at times. We've been very productive with that. We've done it all, and we could go back to anything. We're not going to pigeonhole ourselves right now either. But there's merit to going fast. We all understand that. You see what it does to a defense. But again, in our conversation, Coach and I really, in my belief, hit it off very well. We want to win. And you can go very, very fast all the time and score a lot of points maybe, but you might do this, and then your defense is out there a lot. We just want to win. We just want to win. I'm here to be part of the excellence of LSU and winning. So we're going to do both.
Coach, you have time for one more, Jim? Yeah, Coach, Jim Klein, PeterNola.com, the Times-Picayune. Aside from your real estate connection with Coach Aranda, do you have a connection with LSU, any of the coaches on the staff, or Louisiana in general? And what are your thoughts about LSU and Louisiana?
Nothing direct. My thoughts are, again, this is the premier program in the nation. And I was able to take a tour yesterday and walk around and see our facilities, see everything we have here, which is obviously first class. To go into the stadium, that was a unbelievable moment. So I'm excited to be here. We plan on being here for a long, long time, and we're excited just to be a small part of this program and all Coach O's staff.